nga sinasabi nila may mga pasabog na naman sila sa mga susunod na witness, eh. Medyo nakakadala na kasi itong mga binabanggit nilang pasabog, ano. Ewan ko kung sino 'tong mga pasabog na 'to, Trillanes ba 'to or whatever it is. Pero mukhang nakakadala, 'no, at maaaring ito rin yung isang dahilan kung bakit yung interes ng publiko, eh, medyo nababawasan dito sa impeachment because itong mga sinasabi nila ang gaganda ng mga ano, 'no, ang gaganda ng mga kumbaga trailer ng pelikula, 'no, pero pagdating naman dun sa aktuwal na pelikula, eh, basura pala, 'no.
Nasa day 70 na yung impeachment trial today, day 18. Later, Prof, ano ho yung assessment ho ninyo? Masasabi po ninyo muna doon sa kinalabasan nitong day 17 kung saan nga ay natapos na yung pagharap ng testigong o iniharap na testigong si Gina Acosta, yung disbursing officer ng OVP.
Well, I think kahapon, basically wala akong masasabi na very, very tangible and very remarkable outcome insofar as the prosecution is concerned. Ano, yes, they were able to bring out, in the open several names like yun nga, yung mga ginamit dito sa disbursement, ano. Pero I think it is still clothed with the idea and the ideal as to why we have it as confidential now in the first place. So I think other than that, yung mga names na nailabas, ano, wala akong masasabing masyadong puntos, no, insofar as the prosecution is concerned. Actually, mas nakita nga natin dito yung sidelights na naman, ano, yung mga binanggit na naman na pahayag nitong ating mga senators, particularly itong si Senator Raffy Tulfo, na yun nga parang binubuli niya, no, and parang binibelittle niya itong ating testigo, no. So I think it's still very much within the within the control of the defense, no, kung paano nila sinalag kahapon, dahil nga wala naman direktang paper trail in the first place na na-establish, no, na magpapatunay na talagang nakinabang yung ating ikalawang pangulo dito sa pera na ibinibigtang nila sa kanya, no. Yes, it was disbursed. Yes, it went through the bureaucratic channels as how it should be, no. Pero yun nga, ang kailangan kasi dito ma-establish is meron ba talagang direktang pinakinabangan dito yung ikalawang pangulo? Ibinulsa niya ba yung pera? Siya ba ay nakinabang dito? I think those are the things that were not settled yesterday, no? At kahit anong galing man sa isip niya nito ni Attorney Ligutan, mukhang hindi yata niya na ilabas yung gusto niyang sabihin dahil nga I think the witness really stood her ground as well, no?
Opo, at laging binabanggit yung pangalang si Colonel La Chica ni Gina Acosta. Pero nang tinanong kung siya na ba ang susunod na testigong ihaharap ng prosekusyon, aba hindi pa natin alam kung kailan pa susunod siyang ihaharap. Tama ho ba yung naging obserbasyon ng mga senator judges? Although wala naman sa kanila yung ano talaga na kung sino yung isusunod na testigo ng prosecution. Pero para lang magkaroon ng yung line of thoughts, kumbaga, Prof, ay magtutuloy-tuloy.
Yeah.
Dapat ho ba ganun din dapat ang ginawa ng prosecution?
Yes, kasi ang nagbibigay na to talaga, no, at naglabas ng mga listahan from the very beginning, and if there will be some changes and modifications, I think they need to actually be open to that on as a per need basis, no, especially right now, no, na hindi nila masyadong nakuha or na-extract dito kay witness SOD yung gusto nilang malaman dahil nga ibinabato dito kay Colonel Chica. I think it's really incumbent, ano, dito sa prosecution na tawagin na itong si Colonel Chica kasi para hindi mawala yung tinatawag natin na follow through. Tama yun, yung train of thought, ano, kasi nga it's already been established, and I think maganda na meron tayong follow through doon, ano, para malaman natin talaga, no, na kung meron ba talagang katotohanan o wala, no. Pero ito pagpapakita lamang na mukhang hindi naging matibay yung sequencing ng mga witnesses na gustong ipatawag ng prosecution, and then may kita natin na medyo hindi nailatag ng maayos at maaari rin naman siguro na pagpapakita ng kakulangan din ng preparation on their part. Pero I think with what the witness already pointed out yesterday, I think kailangan talagang maipatawag na itong si Colonel Chica for us to be able to really verify.
Oo, at marami ding nagsisilabasang mga spekulasyon. Takot ba yung prosecution na iharap ito sila Chika? Kaya ayaw nilang isunod dito sa magiging nagpapatuloy na impeachment trial? Sa tingin po ninyo, Prof?
Definitely, no. Pwede hindi natin inaalis yung anggulo na yon. Lalong-lalo na ang mga sumasala ngayon sa witness stand, alam nila that these were people who worked under the OVP, and practically speaking, they are also trying to ascertain kung meron ba talaga silang makukuha o meron ba talagang substantive element yung kanilang mga ipapahayag, o mas lalo ba itong magbabaon doon sa kinasasadlakan ngayon ng prosecution na kung saan pang 18 araw na ngayon, pang 17 araw, pero I think I am not yet seeing a substantive and decisive victory in any of these days, and so far as the prosecution is concerned, other than of course grandstanding on the part of several senators who are allied with them, o kaya itong masyadong pagmamaneobra nitong kanilang mga abogado na para bang kinakayan-kayanan lang nila yung defense, pero we need to understand that in a prosecution, in an engagement or in a proceeding like this, talagang expected naman natin yan, pero kinakailangan din siguro na maging matapang ng prosecution na ilatag yung kanilang mga testigo kahit ito pa ay nagtrabaho dun sa Office of the Vice President, because they're trying to make a good case here, and they can never do that unless they will be able to get the people that directly work with the OVP and that directly were given allegedly the orders, to actually disburse this amount or to encash this amount. And kinakailangan talaga nilang harapin yung kanilang mga pangamba kung sakali mang natatakot sila. Dito natin makikita kasi yung true test of the mettle, of a good litigant, kung papaano niya talaga ilalatag yung tamang mga tanong para ma-extract yung mga sagot na gusto niya malaman o makuha from a witness, to ascertain na hindi ito nagsisinungaling, or to find flaws or inconsistencies dun sa kanyang mga magiging sagot.
Oo. At isa sa mga ina-establish din doon sa pahayag po o sa testimonya ni Gina Acosta, patungkol pa rin dito sa 125 million pesos na confidential funds na ginastos within 11 days, kasi yun talaga yung ina-highlight nitong nasa prosecution. Sinabi na dumaan naman pala sa regular na proseso. So ano bang mali doon, Prof?
Yeah. Exactly. Again, we boil down to the idea of optics, Ito yung tinatawag natin kasing yung mga statements na sa tingin nila ay magkakaroon ng shock factor, insofar as our kababayans are concerned. Again, when you look at the entirety of this impeachment, isa lang naman talaga ang pinututumpalan nito. It's the control of the narrative. Yung pagbato ng mga akusasyon kahit wala naman talagang sapat na batayan at sapat na basihan, para lang talaga ipin down yung ating ikalawang Pangulo. And again, I always say this, this is really in preparation for 2028 elections. Make no mistake about it. Well, anyway, at any rate, siguro kinakailangan din maunawaan ng ating mga kababayan, and I think many of our countrymen are actually slowly grasping the full extent of the approach and the characteristic ng atake na ginagawa rito ng prosecution, na they're making a very big issue out of something na kung tutuusin talagang procedurally tama naman. at wala naman talagang nilalabag, no? Pero kasi kapag inilatag nila doon sa kanilang mga pahayag, sa kanilang mga soundbites, parang lumalabas na merong irregularidad na nangyayari, which I think from the get-go, and I think even the presiding officer already is consistent that there's really no irregularity. It's just that yun nga, yung shock factor, no? Para bang ginugulat yung publiko na merong ganito. Pero kinakailangan maunawaan din natin mga kababayan na lahat ito po ay kasama doon sa konteksto at konsepto ng isang confidential fund, no? Kasi it will not be a confidential fund if all these elements are not present in the first place. And this is what the prosecution is trying to magnify, telling us na merong hindi tama, na may illegal, may irregular, pero in reality there's none, no? Kaya nga sa totoo lang, this impeachment trial, when you look at the outlying context of this proceeding, para talaga tayong nag-aaksaya ng pera, nagsasayang ng oras, nag-aaksaya ng panahon sa isang paglilitis na kung tutuusin kaya naman talagang unawain, no? Even a very very simple average citizen will be able to understand that this is really not supposed to be taken in a very very complex manner. Pero yun nga, dahil nga kinailangan itong gawin, at ito nga pinopondohan na nga ng makinarya ng gobyerno, including this current administration, wala na tayong magagawa because we're already here. And I think in the end naman, malalaman din naman natin ang katotohanan and when the final verdict actually comes up.
Opo, at laging binabalik-balik yung mga pangalan, no, ng mga alias, Prof, nitong lalo na itong mga senator judges pa, ano, doon sa mga katanungan nila dito sa testigo. Pero alam naman natin na talagang normal at hindi naman mismo yung circular na sinasabi, binabanggit doon, ay hindi naman nagsasabi, hindi naman nagbabawal na hindi pwede gumamit ng alias, ganito, ganyan. Pero parang pinapalaki yung issue, Prof, na parang big deal ang paggamit ng pagong, pusa. So, ano bang masasabi mo sa mga ganyan pong mga katanungan ng ating mga senator judges pa?
Well, in the first place, I think it demonstrates the stupidity of our judges, no, especially those people who are actually seeing these things. Kasi nga in the first place, talagang na-establish na yun . Alam na natin at alam na dapat nila yon. Pero yun nga, dahil nga sa gusto nilang ipakita at magkaroon ng panggulat sa publiko, no, bakit nandito itong mga pangalan na to, no? Bakit hindi yung mga totoong pangalan? Well, in fact, the idea of confidentiality is to conceal the identity of the people. Otherwise, it will no longer be confidential, and the operations that are in line with this disbursement of funds may be compromised, no? Hindi ko naiintindihan ano po bang mahirap intindihin doon, ano? I think siguro sarado lang talagang isipan ng ating mga senator judges dito, no? And they even resort to grandstanding and even bullying yung ating mga testigo, which I think it's not supposed to be the case. I think Senator Irwin Tulfo and Senator Rapi Tulfo still believes that the Senate is still a continuation or an extension of their radio broadcast. Mukhang hindi pa sila nakaka-recover, no, doon sa pagiging broadcaster nila, at hindi pa nila naiisip na sila ay senador na ngayon, ano, at mukhang na underwhelmed yata sila doon sa kalagayan nila ngayon, which is of course different already from what they used to do. Ang akin, kung talagang gusto nilang mag-resort pa rin doon sa mga ganun na mga atake, those virulous attacks, against people, I think they need to go back to their previous job as broadcasters, at hindi na dito sa Senado nila dadalhin itong mga ganitong antics, because it does not add anything to this proceeding, I would say, and to call the witness as stupid or any of these derogatory remarks, I think is very unbecoming of a senator of the Republic.
Opo. At marami ang talagang galit din doon sa mga pahayag na yan, no? Yung mga katanungan at mga sinabi. Kasi hindi naman daw yan ganyang ugali, no, ng isang judge. Kung haharap ka, dapat maging impartial, kumbaga, Prof, ang ipinapangita nitong mga senator judges. Although, iba naman talaga dito sa impeachment trial dahil may halong politika po talaga. Pero, Prof,
Well,
oh yes, go ahead po. Anong masasabi mo?
yeah. Yeah, kasi nga po, no, kung titignan naman natin, yes, they're politicians in the first place, no. Pero kung makikita natin kapag naman halimbawa yung mga kagaya ni Senator Pia Cayetano or Senator Alan Peter Cayetano nagtatanong, they're also stressing a point. They're making a point, but not to that level, no, na talagang nagiging derogatory at nagiging parang pinapalengke nila yung witness, ano. I think that's not how it is, no. You could stress a point, you could make a very good valid contention, why not, no. But at the end of the day, we need to maintain proper decorum and the proper respect should be given to the witness. In the first place, the witness is not supposed to be there, no. Pinatawag, sinampina, kinalad ka dito sa korte para tanungin, and I think they should be accorded a great deal of respect at magkilala doon sa effort na gusto nilang ilagay yung kanilang sarili para talaga sa pagkakaroon at pagka malaman natin yung katotohanan. And then you're not supposed to be subjecting them to these things. And I think this was born out of the frustration, ano, nitong mga judges na kaalyado ng ating Pangulo dahil nga alam nila na unang-una tumatagal itong paglilitis na to, mukhang nababawasan din yung interes ng taong bayan. Kasi kung totoo na may traction itong impeachment na to, no, at kung talagang ang gusto nilang gawin dito is hindi naman talaga mapanagot ang ikalawang Pangulo, kundi siraan lamang siya at pahinain yung kanyang makinarya for the 2028 elections, I think it's not really hitting the target at all, no. And I think this is one of the reasons why this government allies or administration allied senators are trying to do these tricks at the moment, no, out of sheer frustration, I believe, no, dahil nga walang nangyayari doon sa kanilang mga ginagawa, no, at sa kanilang mga pinlano. It's not gaining any kind of traction at all. And so para sa isang gobyerno na gumagasta ng napakalaking pera at nag-involve ng napakaraming tao at nagsasayang ng napakahabang panahon sa isang paglilitis na wala namang kinapupuntahan at wala naman talagang nangyayari insofar as their side is concerned, talagang sayang ito, no? Kaya talagang hindi natin maiwan, magagagalit ka talaga. And I think that's the reason why these Tulfo brothers are really very furious at the moment. And I think they have every right to claim so because nothing is happening with their the design that they have at the moment.
Opo, at nagpapatunay ho ba yan, Prof, na yung pag-atake sa karakter ng isang testigo tulad ni Gina Acosta ay nagpapatunay na wala talagang mapiga, hindi nila mapiga, wala silang ebidensyang nakukuha, wala silang yung gusto nilang ma-mention, mabanggit ni Gina Acosta, hindi niya nababanggit, which is yun po yung gusto nila talagang ini-insist, no, sa kanilang mga pagtatanong dito sa testigo. Tama ho ba?
I think, yeah, definitely, and I would say that this is really a failure on the part of the litigant. No, this is a failure on the part of the prosecution panel because you see they are the ones entrusted here to number one, they brought the witness. Number two, kinakailangan talaga maayos, klaro yung pagtatanong nila. Kung nailalatag mo yung pagtatanong at wala ka talaga nakukuha, okay, kumbaga hindi mo talaga na-extract yung gusto mong malaman, isa lang ibig sabihin nun, talagang maaring wala or maaring hindi lang talaga kayo magaling, no? Either way, puntos yun para sa defense, no? Siguro mas maganda na dito kay Attorney Ligutan, no, other than the fact that he comes in full makeup and with his lipstick on, mas maganda siguro pag-aralan niya muna maigi, no, kung paano talaga yung line of questioning at paano niya talaga titignan itong ating mga testigo at paano talaga nila i-extract yung mga information na gusto nilang makuha, no? Kasi hindi naman nakukuha sa pakapalan ng makeup ang pagiging isang magaling na abogado.
Opo, kasi kung puro lang salita yung ginagawa, Prof, tsaka walang sapat ebidensya, hindi po talaga tatayo yan kahit sa regular na korte. Kasi kung ang issue lang naman dito, kung mali ba yung paggamit ni VP Sara sa confidential funds, sinabi na ng disbursing officer, regular na proseso, sumunod sa regular na proseso, tapos pinasa lang niya kay La Chica. At the same time, wala naman tayo, hindi naman natin alam. Para bang speculations lang yung naririnig natin, gumagawa-gawa na lang ng istorya, pinagtatahi-tahi, batay po sa sarili po nilang interpretasyon. Ganun ho ba ang nagiging obserbasyon po ninyo sa mga katanungan o mga konklusyon na dito o mga pahayag ng mga sa impeachment trial?
Yeah, absolutely, no, absolutely. Kasi when you don't have a clear case, you just resort to other antics. You resort to either grandstanding, or you resort to belittling the integrity of the witness because you don't have a case in the first place, no. Yun yung problema, no. And I think the prosecution should understand this. Anyway, mahaba-haba pa naman itong impeachment trial, ano, at mayroon pa naman silang pagkakataon siguro to regroup and to recalibrate and try to see how could they unearth, no, or bring out in the open. Ito nga sinasabi nila may mga pasabog na naman sila sa mga susunod na witness. Medyo nakakadala na kasi itong mga binabanggit nilang pasabog, ano. Ewan ko kung sino itong mga pasabog na to, Trillanes ba to or whatever it is. Pero mukhang nakakadala, no, at maaaring ito rin yung isang dahilan kung bakit yung interest ng publiko medyo nababawasan dito sa impeachment because itong mga sinasabi nila ang gaganda ng mga ang gaganda ng mga kumbaga trailer ng pelikula, no, pero pagdating naman doon sa aktual na pelikula basura pala, no. So these things, no, hindi natin to kinakailangan in the first place kasi if they really good, if they really are prepared as they are claiming to be, and if they're always saying, no, kagaya every time na may tatapos ang impeachment proceeding, mayroon silang press con, itong sinasabi lagi ni Tere Redon na nanalo sila na naman, that they scored a big victory, that publiko naman na magsasabi noon, hindi naman sila, no, because itong prosecution, what they're very good at is ito nga, number one, creating the impression that they're getting the upper hand. Number two, creating the idea or the concept that merong direction yung kanilang mga sinasabi, when in fact hanggang ngayon nangangapa pa rin sila ng mga ebidensya. And I think this is really the problem when gumawa ka ng isang kaso na in the first place, wala ka naman talagang matibay na tinututungan. And I think this is something that they are already experiencing right now. Pero syempre, pagdating sa mga press con nila, sa publiko, they will always demonstrate the idea that they're good, they're doing well, when in fact, talagang may kita natin na sabog-sabog talaga ang prosecution at this point.
Prof, si Partner Admar, kasama ko po dito para po sa mga karagdagang katanungan po sa inyo.
Magandang umaga po, Prof. Yun bang ditong nakalipas na day, 17 trials na po sa impeachment, hanggang sa kasalukuyan ba ay naghahanap pa rin sila ng patunay? Parang parte pa rin ba ng sinasabing fishing expedition mula doon sa Kamara hanggang sa kasalukuyan? Kasi makikita mo rin sana nila the way sila magtanong, na-frustrate na rin sila kasi meron silang gustong lumabas sa bibig ng witness pero hindi nila makuha to the point na kanina nagkikritik na lang sila dun sa paulit-ulit na sagot po ng witness, Prof.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think this is really an extension of their quite lengthy fishing expedition, and hindi ko alam kung kailan matatapos itong fishing expedition nila ito. Pero ayun nga, kasama Admar, no, from the very get-go, no, kung talagang wala maliwanag na patayan yung kanilang mga or konkreto or solido na pinaglalagyan yung kanilang mga aparatang sa agilawang pangulo, lalabas at lalabas talaga to, no? And I think this is exactly what we are seeing right now. For example, the amount in question and the nature of the funds that is in question. And I think it's incumbent for them to really establish, number one, the paper trail, that the vice president was able to amass this amount of money straight into her into her account or whatever it is, kinakailangan may establish yun para masabi natin na talagang nakinabang siya doon sa pera ng bayan, o doon sa kaba ng bayan. Pero up to this time, hindi pa rin nila to na-establish, and they're focused on this people na gumawa ng kaparaanan para talaga mangyari yung pag-transfer ng funds and everything. Pero yun nga, lumalabas naman kasi na dumaan naman talaga sa tamang proseso. So if it was indeed a regular and a legal process that transpired, so anong problema? So again, I'm really waiting and hoping that the prosecution will be able to lay down specific incidents, or at least provide a clear-cut paper trail na magsasabi na itong ikalawang Pangulo nakinabang, nagpayaman, nagpasasa sa pondo ng bayan. Kasi hanggat hindi natin na-establish yun, it will still remain to be a confidential fund that was used primarily for the purpose intended for the fund in the first place, which of course the OVP and even the DepEd was able naman to actually use based on their documented COA evidences, yung mga COA returns nila. So again, I would like to challenge, and still siguro not really challenge, but I would like to cheer on the prosecution na you can still do it. You can still you can still recover. Kaya nyo pa yan. Galingan nyo lang. I hope makabawi kayo sa mga susunod na paglilitis.
Opo. Pero nakikita niyo po ba, Prof, na kung paano ginastos ng OVP at DepEd ang confidential fund, pagbabatayan natin yung naging pahayag ni Gina Acosta na dinisburse niya yung, sabi niya, dinisburse niya yung pera doon kay La Chica. Si La Chica nag-implement noon. Do you think na ito rin yung common o regular na ginagawa sa iba pang mga ahensya ng gobyerno, sa uniform personnel na meron ding confidential at intelligence fund?
That's the problem, Sir Edmar, primarily because ang focus natin kasi rito, masyado tayong nakafocus dito sa 125 million. Nasabihin na natin 625 million in total ng mga confidential fund ng OVP at ng DepEd. Pero alam po ba natin the confidential funds of other agencies like the DSWD, for example, or itong Department of Health and many others ang laki rin naman ng kanilang mga unaudited and unliquidated funds, and they amount into the billions. Pero bakit hindi natin tinitignan, o bakit hindi natin at least scrutinize man lamang ng tama? Pero nakafocus tayo dito sa Office of the Vice President at sa DepEd, I think yung principle kasi ng tinatawag natin na uniformity across all government agencies, hindi natin nakikita rito. And I think this is where the ugly head of politics comes in, because the Vice President is the front runner in the 2028 elections, and because the Vice President, no matter what they do and no matter what claims they make against her, it's still having a very comfortable lead at this point. Is that the reason why they're dead set and focus only on the OVP and on the DepEd, when in fact other government agencies, and I believe even the AFP, will have billions and billions of intel and confidential funds? Is this properly being dispensed? Is this properly being dispersed? Is this properly being accounted for? If so, then I think we deserve the right to know how much in the first place this money is, and at the same time, kung properly audited ba ito ng COA. Kasi kung may mga notices of disallowance dito sa mga pondo ng ibang government agencies na to, na meron din kahalintulad na pondo, then lumalabas talaga na this is really a matter of parang focusing only intently on the Vice President and not really a quest for accountability.
Opo. At kumbaga, nakikita natin dito na pinipili lang nila kasi kumbaga, yung presumption of regularity, kung pagbabatayan mo, yung sinasabi ni Acosta, ang problema lang, hindi tinatanggap, no? Hindi tinatanggap doon sa sariling interpretasyon ng COA, hindi rin tinatanggap ng sariling interpretasyon ng ilang mga senator judge to the point na meron na silang judgment na merong nanakaw. Gaano po ito nakakabahala, Prof, pag mayroon ng ganito na meron na conclusion na meron ng nanakaw ang nanakaw ng pera ng taong bayan sa confidential fund ng OVP?
Alam nyo, hindi lang dito sa impeachment na establish ito, no? Itong ganitong mentality at yung ganitong behavior nitong ating mga mga tumutulig sa ikalawang pangulo, no? Even during the Justice Committee hearings, no, doon sa pre-trial, no, and even doon sa Quadcom hearings, no, na-establish na po natin yan, no, that this is really more of witch hunting, that this is really more of persecution, nothing more, nothing less. At buo na yung kanilang pasya, no, na ang ikalawang pangulo ay meron talagang pagkakasala na nagawa, no. Pero yun nga yung nakakalungkot kasi I really don't understand, no, how these people are trying to project this thing when in fact we are in a digital age, no, when information is at your fingertips, no. Social media is there, no, at hindi mo po pwedeng i-contain at kontrolin yan basta-basta, no. Unlike before, nung panahon ng diktatoryang Marcos, no, pupwede pa, no? Pero ngayon hindi, no? Lalabas ang katotohanan. At kahit ano pang gawin natin, ano, na pagpihit dito, eh nagiging obvious, no? Dahil kasi nga lumalabas na may mga kaalyado, halimbawa ito prosecution panel na to, no? Gerbil Luistro, Terry Ridon, and many others, they themselves are all also being implicated in multi-billion peso issues, no, which hindi pa nga nila na dispel in the first place. Bakit? Kasi wala naman nagpa-file ng kaso. Bakit wala nagpa-file? Kasi nga alam natin at maraming ang nakakaunawa na hindi naman uusa dahil nga kaalyado sila at sanggang dikit sila ng Pangulo, no? And of course, kitang-kita natin na kung ikaw ay nasa panig ngayon ng administrasyon, you are really protected. And you could definitely mark yourself safe, no? Kaya nga ito yung nakikita ng ating mga kababayan ngayon na yung ginagawa laban sa ating ikalawang pangulo walang iba kundi paraan lamang nila para talaga i-distract at i-discount yung ating ikalawang pangulo so that she will not be able to run for 2020 elections. Pero unfortunately, all the efforts, all the money and the resources being spent on this is backfiring, ano, at hindi nila talaga nakukuha yung resulta. And like I said a while ago, if I were the president, if I were the prosecution, if I were the senator judges that allied to the president, eh talagang nakakasira ng ulo yan at nakakainis yan. Bakit ganoon? Bakit walang nangyayari sa lahat ng ginagawa nating effort? Ano yun? Nasasayangan ako doon sa panahon, oras at pera na ginugugol nila rito. And nakakaawa at the same time na ganito yung nangyayari. Pero yun nga, like I said a while ago, sana rin naman, magkaroon pa rin naman ng magandang laban later on.
Opo, labas lang ako konti sa impeachment trial, Prof. Dito ako sa isa sa mga senator judge na abala din sa pag-iikot ngayon at aminado nga siya na talagang nag-aanda na siya sa posibleng presidential race. Tingin mo makakatulong yung kanyang mga pagtatanong, mga pahayag niya within sa impeachment court para sa kanyang possible na pagtakbo, considering iisipin ng tao, kaya yan siya, ganyan siya magtanong kasi tatakbo yan magiging kalaban niya si VP Sara. Prof.
Well, in the first place, hindi naman natin siguro may aalis sa kanya yung kakayahang magtanong because she's a senator judge, you know. Now, as to what really the purpose and the intent, I think I would say number one, it could be judicial. On the other hand, it may be political. No? Pero sa totoo lang, ano, kahit naman siguro, I'll just be very frank and honest about this. No? The latest survey results, 55% I think went to the vice president. And she got like around 1% or 2% or something like that. Okay. I tell you this, it will take a great deal of effort, painstaking considerations on her part, for her to be able to mount a good fight against the vice president. No? And nakakalungkot because the vice president is not even doing anything other than defending herself in the impeachment court. She is not really making pronouncements against administration na sobra-sobra. No? Wala masyadong nagiging pahayag except for yung naging panawagan niya na yung travel expenses ng Office of the President gawing publiko, which I think is right, no? Kasi nga, we're demanding accountability, di ba? And I think that's just right. Pero, I mean, going back to the Senator Judge, mukhang lahat na yata gagawin niya, no? At ginagawa naman niya ngayon, pati pagkanta sa mga palengke, pakikipag-ulayo sa mga tendero ng isda, ng manok, ng baboy, pero mukhang makikita natin sa susunod na survey kung tataas ng mga 1% or pinakamataas na siguro 2% yung kanyang numero, no, later on. I think she is trying to convince not only herself, no, but also her allies that she is capable. I think it's not really convincing the not really convincing the entire Philippine nation that she is capable, because majority of the Filipinos naman knows that she is not capable. So it's really more about convincing, number one, her allies, and number two, herself, no, that she can do it and that she can make it. Pero yun nga, the way we're seeing it, all the efforts, no, right now, okay lang naman yun, tama naman, because after all, she has the right to run for public office. Pero to say the very least na what she's saying will create a dent against the vice president, which will naturally redound to her advantage over her, I think that's a big misconception on her part if she's thinking that way now, because naturally and definitely hindi po nangyayari yun at hindi makikita yun.
Ang isa sa mga sinasabing magiging katunggali pa ni VP Sara sa 2028 ay itong si dating Vice President Leni Robredo. Tingin niyo po, sapat na yung kanyang, after nung kanyang pagtakbo na natalo siya at naging mayor siya ngayon, sapat na yan para mag-resonate yung pangalan niya, lalo na sa Visayas at Mindanao. Siguro dito sa Luzon, may laban-laban, lalo na sa kanyang lugar. Pero yung kanyang naging trabaho ngayon, yung pagiging mayor niya ngayon, sapat na ba ito para makumbinse yung kabuuan sa Pilipinas, mga Pilipino, para siya ang iboto, hindi kayo magkaroon ng magandang laban sa darating na 2028 elections?
Ala ko, kasama ng Admar, ang sasabihin mo, sapat na ba yung 500 million? Okay, hindi. Kidding aside, no? Well, sa totoo lang, if you're going to ask me upfront, if there's one person that could somehow mount a good fight against the vice president, I think it will have to be Leni Robredo. Okay, I think it will have to be her. Now, why? Why? Well, number one, meron din siya kasing solid block, no, to begin with. Pero ang nakakalungkot ngayon kasi doon sa solid block na yon, and I'm not only talking about the geographical block, no, dito sa Bicol, pero I'm also referring to the kakampings, no. Pero ang nakakalungkot kasi ngayon, and I think many of the kakampings may find it very, very hard to understand or even accept, no, as how their saint, no, if I may call her a saint, itong si VP Leni Robredo or Mayor Leni Robredo, is actually now lining up with the administration, particularly with Marcos. And nakakalungkot siguro para sa kanila na yung mga pinanggit nila na mga pahayag doon sa mga lalaking rally nila sa Ortigas, sa Pasig, wherein nagkulay rosas talaga yung kabuuan ng stretch ng Pasig ngayon. Mukhang ngayon itinalikuran na kapalit ng 500 million pesos, no, na ipinangako naman at binigay sa kanya ni President Marcos, no. I think hindi ito nagre-resonate doon sa good governance mantra na gusto nilang sabihin, because if you are not able to act out or to even call out the corruption happening because of the flood control, then there is no reason why you should be saying that you are in favor of good governance, because anti-corruption mechanisms and anti-corruption stance is a very, very important congruent factor on good governance. In fact, kaya nga tayo may prinsipyo ng good governance, sana maintindihan po natin sa lahat ng ating mga taga-subaybay, dahil may corruption. Because there is this direct correlation between corruption and good governance, di ba? Pero kung ang ating ikalawang pangulo na siyang iniisip nila na magiging matibay na pambato, no, ng administrasyon, kung mamanokin man siya, no, ni Marcos, parang may mga malalagas, no, sa kanya, lalong-lalo na yung mga purist na kung tawagin, yung mga talagang naniniwala doon sa presensya at sa esensya ng good governance. Mukhang hindi na niya ito makukuha dahil sa ginawa niyang pagtanggap ng malaking pera na yon kay Marcos at sa pagtalikod niya doon sa kanyang mga tinura nung panahon na sila ay magkatunggali bilang Vice President noong 2016 elections, no. And I think this is para sa mga kakamping, no, ito ay mahirap i-reconcile yung idea na yon, no. Mahirap i-justify or i-rationalize kung bakit niya ginawa yon. And I think many of them may be thinking, of putting up their votes or going to other potential candidates. Who knows? Risa Ontiveros, if she will run independently, may actually get some of the votes from Leni Robredo. Pero at the end of the day, if their goal is to really topple down VP Sara, may hirapan po talaga with the chain of events that transpired. Siguro mas maganda kung nanatili si Leni Robredo doon sa kanyang mantra na talagang kalaban niya itong mga Marcoses at tinutuligsa niya yung korupsyon. Siguro mas nag-solidify yung kanyang voter base at maaaring mas magkaroon siya ng mas magandang tsansa heading into the 2028 elections. But the way things are going on right now, I think it's hard, although she still remains to be a formidable opponent. Pero I highly doubt it if she'll ever win.
Huli na lang po, Prof. Sa tingin niyo po, bakit kaya lumabas din yung issue, no? Patungkol daw sa gusto raw makipag-usap ni Vice President Sara Duterte kay PBBM. Una yata itong kumalat sa mga vlogger na mga tinatawag na loyalista. Dito ito unang mga lumabas at nagpakalat na itinanggi naman ng kampo ng pangalawang Pangulo. Sa tingin niyo po, bakit kaya, excuse me, yan ay lumabas?
Well, number one, chismis. Pangalawa, fake news. Pangatlo, wala talagang batayanan. I don't think it's in the persona of the Vice President to actually go out of her way to even, create even a slightest conversation with the President after what the President has put her family and herself, her own self at the moment. Imagine, the former president is in The Hague. The family's patriarch is not here in the country, and not only the patriarch, he was the former president, is not here. And then para sa kanya, the vice president herself, she had to go to this impeachment right now. Even Pulong Duterte and Basti Duterte has been filed charges on their own. So in short, this is really a parang well-executed demolition job on the family, And I don't understand why on earth will Sara Duterte, the vice president, will go out of her way to even create a dialogue or make a conversation with the president, or siguro maaari nga, pero I'm sure she will not be saying very nice things or pleasantries to the president, but rather maybe she would like to tell the president to his face, what's going to happen in the future, maaari yun yung sasabihin niya para maliwanag daw sa Pangulo kung anong kakaharapin niya after 2028.
Opo. Siguro, Prof, huli na lang, mensahe po ninyo sa ating mga kababayan at idugtong ko na rin yung naging pahayag sa isang panayam ng isang House Prosecutor abogado po, sabi niya, ayaw na niyang makitang magkaroon muli ng people power kung hindi, kung ma-acquit daw o ma-absuelto itong si VP Sara Duterte sa impeachment trial. O sa tingin ho ninyo, opposite po ang mangyayari?
Wala naman talaga magiging people power, no? In the first place, they do not have the numbers to mount a people power. Pangalawa, the people are already tired of that, no? Sabi ko nga sa inyo, no, in the past, with all these things that are happening right now, no, the flood control and all of this corruption scandals, if the public is still invested, no, in mounting a people power, we can do so, no? Pero alam nyo, sa sobrang hirap ng buhay na binigay sa atin ng administrasyon na to, parang mas pipiliin na lang nila na magtrabaho, no? Mas pipiliin na lang nila na kumayod kasi nga ang hirap mabuhay sa panahon ngayon kesa mag-rally. No? So, I highly doubt it. So, sa akin, kung sakaling acquittal lang magiging resulta or conviction man, I think we need to accept it. Pero kasi mahirap pangunahan eh. Para bang ngayon pa lang, this early, sinasabi nyo na magkakaroon na acquittal. Eh, bakit pa tayo nagtatrial in the first place, di ba? So, bakit nila isipin yun? Dapat nga, mas palakasin nila yung kanilang fighting spirit. Kaya nila to kasi sinimulan nila eh, di ba? They started this. They need to see what will transpire later on and whether it's favorable to them or against their desire, their plan of action. Then I think they have to really accept it. No, ganun naman talaga ang isang impeachment trial eh. After all, sila yung nag-isip nito eh. No? I think the Vice President will never put herself into this position if they did not really willingly design the entirety of it. No? I mean, the plan was really laid out by the people who are now crying for it sa people power if in case no, it will result in acquittal. So ngayon pa lang parang mo sinasabi na talo ka na. Ngayon pa lang parang sinasabi mo na tanggap mo na yung magiging kapalaran mo. Bakit ganoon? Diba? Akala ko ba malakas sila? Akala ko ba very, very confident sila doon sa chances nila? So they need to stick to that to the very end. At huwag nang i-mind condition ng publiko na kapag ka nagkaroon ng acquittal, pupunta sa EDSA. I mean, the public is already sick and tired of all this divisiveness. No? Let's just accept the decision and let's move on. After all, after this impeachment, all roads will lead to 2028.